Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next anime review for Anime Month. And next up I'm kind of indecisive for this though, but I would say it's a review slash rant, I would say. But I would say that there's a lot of things I did not like about this anime, but I would say it wasn't probably for the ending. This would be a full on rant though, but that's why I put this as a slash rant because it wasn't a great anime. It wasn't. I mean, for the most part, the comedy I didn't think it was not that funny. So, and plus the thing is, it had a lot of characters. We have 12 episodes, and it showed a whole bunch of characters that basically I couldn't remember. I honestly couldn't remember most of all these characters, so. But, so the series I'll be talking about today is of We Without Wings. So I think that's what I think about it. We Without Wings. It was as for the animated series, it's based. Well, first of all, it's based on a game, which I haven't played any of these Japanese games before, so can't say. But as for the animated series itself, it was released in 2011, and like I said, it has 12 episodes, but there was a whole bunch of characters that I couldn't remember about. Maybe for these main four here, and for the lead person, maybe. But leading into it, though, trying to get most of the story is you have this guy who goes by the name of Takashi Hanada, and he's kind of like a nice, but like a little, kind of almost like pushover in a way. And he has this girlfriend by the Asuka, who wants to be his girlfriend. And he basically, it's kind of like you have like three different three different stories in this movie, which I think that's another thing because I think that's one mistake. I think this for each episode they try to juggle like three characters in one episode. I think it was better. I think it was better if they told like the three characters on a separate DVD disc, like they did with Asuka no Sora. Because it had three different, had four different story arcs. I think it was better if they split those three guys into like three different story arcs, right? That way, then each of those story arcs would come together at the same ending. It would make the whole thing a lot easier, other than just trying to shove into 12 stories. We try to juggle three characters in the same episode, so. But yeah, I think that's an issue I have with that. Like I said, too many characters that I don't hardly remember, and the comedy I didn't think it was not that funny. But other than the ending, though, which was kind of was getting more serious, right? I would say, which I'll get to though. Which kind of maybe if it wasn't for that ending, I thought the ending was kind of pretty good for that. Was kind of pretty good, I would say, the ending. But I'll get to that though. But we have Takashi Hanaka. Sorry, Hanada, and then he has his girlfriend Asuka, Asuka, sorry, and then you have these two other There's two other guys. Well, one by the name is Shusuke, and he's kind of like a bit of a perv, but he works at this he gets a part-time job at this maid cafe. And then you have this other guy who's like a bit of who's kind of like a tough guy, right? Tough guy who's always calling girls wenches. Is the character name of Hayato, which actually that one is voiced by the tough guy, the third kind of lead guy, right? It's kind of Hayato Narita. That's what it is. But I'll call him Narita. He's actually voiced by Scott Freeman, who voiced Scott Freeman. He voiced Issei in the first 2 seasons of High School DD. He's voiced in other works as well, though. But he does voice Naruto in this, and there's with focusing on him for a second. There's a schoolgirl by the name of Naru Otori. Is actually voiced by Jade Saxton. Jade Saxton, of course, once speaking of High School DD, she voiced Kaneko in High School DD, and she's voiced in a whole bunch of animes as well as like Food Wars, among others. She's this high school girl who lost her bike, and she wants him to help him to find her bike. While Naruto, he's been working various different jobs at night, but he wants to really help which way his character, his name, it has a nickname called Drag, for short for Dracula. Dracula, because like the guy like comes out at night, and also the kid with the girl Otori, she has like this fetish thing with him in construction outfits. Okay, she has like a structure. A worker's outfit fetish, I guess. And she lost her bike, so she wants him to help her find it. And back with the Shusuke, she has there's a girl that he also kind of likes. She's like she works at the maid cafe, but she's also a novelist and author of 2 books that are pretty good to Shusuke, and she wants to write a 3rd one. Basically, she also works at a part-time job at the maid cafe where he also works eventually, and the manager there is also a big-time pervert as well. That's another thing. There's like a whole like especially talk about being a purpose of some of the comments that they think would work and talk about those kind of cases, right? I just think they were funny. And also Takashi, the first guy I mentioned, he has a sister as well, and like there's like a whole bunch of characters that I'll barely even remember. I know one where there's a girl who works. Who owns a crepe truck. What was called Pal Crepe. She works. She has a crepe truck. There's a gang, like especially one guy who likes raps every sentence, right? And there's a foreign girl by the name of Alice. Okay, that's another thing. Yeah, this girl by the name of Alice. She's a little girl. I would say about 7, 8 years old at most, right? She's foreign to this country and trying to learn the language, right? If you have a little girl, right, it's by herself, probably around that age, 7 or 8, and all of a sudden the guy Naruto, right? He starts this is a little girl, by the way, a little girl. She starts flashing these fancy panties out in the open like this, out in a crowded street. I just saw a little girl who just by perversion, just wants to like flashing her fancy panties out in the middle of the street where there's a whole bunch of people around, indecent exposure. That's one thing. Yeah, I just like I kind of like really we have a little girl about that age and wants to flash her panties in front of the street. Flash her panties in front of everybody in the street. Even like the third guy is like, yeah, don't do that. So yeah, so that's one of the girls. They name Alice, the young perverted girl, likes flashing panties out in public. And so basically, the four main characters, like I mentioned before. Now, I'll get into like spoiler. If you haven't seen this show, spoiler. I had to kind of talk about the good, like the good thing. The good thing about this anime, which why it makes me get like a slash rant, not a full on rant, is because the ending, the twist ending. Okay, the twist ending. Yeah, there are three guys, right? Takashi, Narita, and Shusuke, right? Well, it turns out the guy who is in Takashi, the one who looks like Takashi, right? The first guy. He has multiple personalities. So, it's the same person, but each one takes over, basically. Like, to a lot of us, we see, like, the different person look how they are differently on the outside, but technically it's the same. It's like Takashi's body. The look of Takashi is the same person on the inside. Because you'll see that character in the other personality's clothing, right? If you catch what I mean. So, and the sister, I think the sister knows about this as well. Knows about this because she knows, like, every time when they go, when she's at home, and when one person goes to, she switches a breakfast to what their own liking is. So I think she kind of knows that her brother has multiple personalities. Multiple personalities, you know. I had to say, for aspect of dealing with multiple personalities like this, I thought it was handled better here than I would say in M. Night's Split. Yes, I would say yes. I would say this is even better than Split. Despite with not funny comedy and little girls flashing panties in public and too many characters to name of, I forget almost half of them. Yes, I would say this is better than M. Night's Split. If you want to deal with multiple personalities. Because, the ending of this, because, I forgot to mention there's a fourth personality, calls himself like he's like a king, makes himself like a king, right? That guy is much more crazier than the other personalities, so you'll see him like a couple here, appear a couple like here and there later on. So, yeah, it's basically a fourth one personality, switching bodies. But the thing is, though, the real, not the real Takashi, but the real, his name is, what was the real person's name? Yoji, yeah. That's what that's who he really is. Yoji. He basically locked himself away when he was a kid. His own mind, basically. His own mind. When he was a kid, he locked up his own mind because it was dealing with the death of his mother, which he thought she committed suicide. Basically, well, kind of is because she died from poisoning, I think it was. I think she killed herself, I think. Or because the thing was it the father used to beat her to death? But I think it was that she killed herself by poisoning herself. So that's why he blames himself. That's why he locked his own mind up at this one spot where essentially he created multiple personalities. So he created Narita, Takashi, and Shusuke. And the sister kind of knows about this, and there's a point where she goes in there and say, hey, you know, it's okay. Well, because there's also a line, especially what Naruto always says, that what was the war when war and peace? May the world know peace, I think it was. May the world know peace. Yeah, it was May the war know peace. And until finally he goes back to the way he was, because also before when he was Takashi, he had this weird, because I had to mention this, because he has this weird fantasy where he thinks he's from another world, right? He's put on Earth for some reason, but he thinks he's from another world, like in a Sword Art Online type of game where his self is in the game. He thinks he's kind of like from that world, but it turns out when he goes to Asuka's house, she has the video game of it. and that's where he believes where he originally he came from was from this world, but it wasn't. This is because he had the real him was locked away deep inside, and he did that to himself. And it was for the twist ending of it, knowing about that these three share the same body, the same personality. I thought it was kind of pretty good, and like each one helping out, each personality like helping, like Shusuke helping more in the maid cafe, or when Naruto he finally manages to find Otori's bike. But the thing is, though, does this make up everything for what happened in this series? No. And I forgot to mention. Oh yeah, I forgot to the fantasy world that Takashi's been living at. It's actually from an adaptation from an old video game that Asuka had. So he's been envisioning himself in this world for so long. And what else? Well, more positive to say, like, other than the twist ending I liked, the animation was pretty solid for 2011. As for the musical score by Nomad, was a studio. But Artichoke, I don't know who that is, so. But the score was kind of in there for me, though. But the animation was still solid enough. I forgot to mention the narrator of this show is a DJ. Yeah, DJ, because you see a radio is kind of bouncing back and forth all around it, all over the place, and you hear this guy's voice reading as the narrator. He's the narrator of this story, and at the point where he creates at the end where Takashi creates this new person. I think it was create this new. Yeah, releases an old person, basically the creator, basically, you could say. I wondered if you know what the creator is. It's kind of like a Yu-Gi-Oh card, the name of creator. So that if you want to know. But other than that, though, We Without Wings, because first I thought the title didn't make no sense. We Without Wings, but until like towards the end, it doesn't really do say because we fly with no wings, we without wings, basically. But for the most part, though, wasn't really a fan of this. Like I said, the comedy I didn't think it wasn't funny. Well, other than like the good twist ending for the film, I thought it was pretty good. Nice to hear some of the voice cast from previous animes I've enjoyed, like Jade Saxton from High School DD, Scott Freeman also from High School DD. Anyway, but so there's supposed to be like a lot of raunchy jokes, like wherever the raunchy type of jokes, right? But other than the ending, I thought it was pretty good because by the end, the real Yoji returns his real body because he admitted that he forgave what his mistakes were, what about his mom did, so he forgave whatever. So he basically went back to normal, basically, and all the multiple personalities still share the same body with him, though, but because he does switch, to be with the other girls that each of them liked, though. But We Without Wings, let me know the title. I know they say in the show, though, but We Without Wings, I don't get what the title was that for. But I still think it's like a slash rank because, like I said, the comedy, characters, running time, a lot of it didn't work except for like the twist ending, which I thought I liked, though. If it wasn't for that twist ending, this would be a full rant, though. But I think it's pretty more of a slash rant, though. But We Without Wings, like I said, there's a whole bunch of characters that I can't remember naming. I don't. So that's one issue. Another issue I have on there. But yeah, We Without Wings. It wasn't a great series. It wasn't. If it was for the twist ending, I thought it was pretty good. It was. But does it make up for the rest of the series? No, it doesn't, though. But anyway, this is me, though. But that's my review for We Without Wings. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next anime review, and we'll see y'all later. Oh, by the way, I mentioned, by the way, with the three guys, like I said, well, it could be like Osoka no Sora, right? Where you can just split where it goes following each individual. Each one have their own story arc, just like that series, right? And that way, how it plays off the end, like, okay, this is already gonna happen, so. But yeah, I had to point across if anyone else interested, so yeah. But that's my review for We Without Wings. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next anime review. Later.